August 23rd, 2022. Halfcast 339, episode 339. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Disabled woman with mold growing on her body dies as her 3 adult children arrested. What's especially disturbing to me is not one of them stood up at no time and said, "We can't do this. This is wrong." They were all perfectly okay with watching someone slowly die right before their very eyes. Evil doesn't need a motive, but I'm almost positive there was some sort of checks coming in for this lady. A disabled woman died after she was found in filthy conditions with mold growing on her body, and her 3 adult children have been arrested. Patricia Martinez, 57, died in a hospital in San Antonio, Texas on Saturday, 2 days after deputies rescued her from her home where she was under hospice care. According to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, deputies found Martinez with mold on parts of her skin and insects had infested her room, said Sheriff Javier Salazar. She was found wearing an adult diaper packed with feces in a dried state where it was physically causing infections in other parts of her body, Salazar told News 4 San Antonio on Friday. Everything about this just screams intentional. Mind you, hospice care means this lady didn't have too much longer to live anyway. You mean to tell me you couldn't bring in a home health aide to clean her up and sit with her a few hours a day, a few times a week? Jesus Christ. Adult Protective Services informed the Sheriff's Department after becoming concerned about a steep decline in Martinez's health. Salazar said Martinez's children, Oscar Dominguez, 37, Roxana Carrero, 24, and Pedro Luis Carrero, 18, were charged on Monday with injury to a disabled person with serious bodily injury, which is a first-degree felony. It was not immediately clear if charges against the children would be upgraded to murder with Martinez's death. These are not children. These are adults who made a conscious decision to neglect their own mother and physically watch her health deteriorate day by day. The children lived at home with Martinez and were her caregivers. They were responsible for feeding and washing her, giving her medication, and scheduling her medical appointments. You lived under the same roof with this lady and you just closed the door and acted like she didn't exist. It appeared none of them were doing what they were supposed to be doing, Salazar said. Before Martinez died, Salazar told KENS 5, "It's likely she's going to pay with her life for their neglect. God have mercy on their souls when their time comes." I don't think mercy should be on the table as an option for them in this life or any other. But that's just my opinion. An investigation into the death is ongoing. All 3 children are incarcerated at Bexar County Jail with bonds set at $85,000 each. Next up, Trenton police officer allegedly hid gang ties, planned assault on suspected informant. What was that, 2 weeks ago? Episode 335. There was the dean of a Boston school system were recruiting kids out of the schools to sell drugs for him. It turned out that he was affiliated with a gang. Prosecutors have charged a Trenton police officer with conspiring with gang members. The New Jersey acting attorney general says Rudy Lopez hid his gang connections and communicated with a Latin Kings member already in prison. This is a hell of a coincidence because the guy from the Boston school system, the dean from the Boston school system, he was allegedly affiliated with the Latin Kings also. So what we're having is, it's not unlikely for someone to grow up and become a lawyer, a doctor, a police officer, someone in a community with a social standing, but still keep their ties to the old neighborhoods. They are accused of planning a retaliatory assault against a suspected informant. Prosecutors say Lopez lied on his job application when he denied that he was associated with gang members. People lie and leave shit out on their applications all the time. So how can you expect someone to put in a gang affiliation when they're going for, of all things, a job in law enforcement? Come on, use your heads, people. Police officers who betray their oaths erode the public's trust in law enforcement, undermining the image of the vast majority of upstanding public servants who wear the badge and risk their lives to uphold the law. Acting Attorney General Matthew Platkin said, "We expect our police officers to be above this kind of behavior, and those who engage in criminal conduct will be held accountable." Sounds like somebody found themselves a speechwriter. The 2-year veteran of the force is suspended without pay. Next up, employee told they owe company over $1,000 after being fired. I'm in the parking lot. Come get it. You're not about to add insult to injury on me. Commenters offered support to a man who said his company fired him and said he owes them more than $1,000. The original poster, known as Disappointment, posted about the incident on Reddit's popular anti-work forum, where it received nearly 29,000 upvotes and 3,500 comments. In the post titled, "I was fired and I'm being told I need to repay $1,100, the LP said the company he works for told him he could take lunch and breaks at the end of the day and leave early. Don't ever fall for that, people. Take your breaks within your shift as you should, because someone will always say it's okay until someone else decides that it's not okay and they want to use it to stick it to you, as in this case here. Because no one is going to stand up, no one is going to jump on that grenade for you and tell people that they gave permission for you to take breaks in that sort of fashion. But recently, OP said he was fired without any notice for logging hours without working. Now OP's employer is asking him to pay back the money they paid him when he wasn't working. It sounds like they were trying to accuse him of stealing time. OP told Newsweek the company is a staffing agency for several large pharmaceutical companies located in the United States. They're saying that you're not going to name drop? Screw them. They're saying that instead of suing me, reporting me to the police, oh, now they want to threaten you. They just want me to pay $1,117, the Post read. I was not the only person fired under the exact same circumstances. She left at the same time as me every day and is not being asked to repay anything. Because remember, it's only okay until they want to use it against you. Is my utter disdain for management showing yet again? When the OP asked for the specific hours referenced, the company threatened to take further legal action if he asked for more information, trying to shake him up. I'm being asked to repay this amount by a former supervisor. When I ask for documentation, he threatens to take it to legal and have them sue me, report me, the Post read. Show me the paperwork then. Call their bluff. The OP added that he has nothing in writing except for the $1,100 the company said they're owed, which could also be bullshit because any company can draft an invoice and just put their letterhead on the top to make it look scary. The OP also said that the company did not offer to pay any outstanding wages and that the termination was immediate. So you're not going to give me my last paycheck or my last 2 paychecks, and then on top of that, you're going to tell me I still owe you money? Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. I received a call and was told not to come to work the next day, he said. I had some personal items there and they ignored my emails about retrieving them. I also asked for an official termination letter, but they ignored that as well. You were supposed to get that within a week or 2, maybe. He added that the company began calling and requesting payment about 2 weeks after firing, but you didn't give me my possessions and you didn't send me a termination letter, but you're blowing my phone up for money. Yeah, this kind of got me pissed off after firing him, and that although he did receive his last check through a direct deposit, his remaining PTO was not paid out. They got their money, man. I can't afford to pay them right away, and I can't afford a lawyer. Any thoughts? The post read. But the OP said he isn't sure about taking legal action and is not planning on getting his compensation. It's not worth my time or mental health, he said. However, if they do try and sue me, then I would consider countersuing for items left at the work site, the PTO, and possibly wrongful termination. Put a claim in. Speaking from experience, asking nicely gets you nowhere. You have to put these people in a position where they're forced to be forthcoming. You gotta apply that pressure. More than 3,500 users commented on the post, many offering the OP advice on how to deal with the situation. Tell them you can no longer speak to them since they are threatening you with legal action, and you'll have your lawyer respond when they file the suit. One user commented, then contact your Department of Labor and notify them of the situation. Another commenter replied, an audit of the company hours and wages will most likely trigger a fine. And if nothing else, just letting these people know that they can't just push you around without you pushing back will help you feel a lot better. You'll feel a lot more confident, and it'll be a little bit easier to move forward. Fun show, fun show, fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.